to X Files, where we discuss social issues, recent events, and everything in between. I'm Shakira, and today we have our guest.
Just how y'all doing? Blessings to the people.
Blessings to the people. Before we get started, I want to tell everyone hit that like button, subscribe, and share. That's what we got to get out the way. Um, so the
Also
other
comment. Also comment because we definitely appreciate those.
absolutely all comments, good and bad. It doesn't
Good and
matter.
bad.
Okay, okay. I'm trying to like. So the other time we were discussing Drake. Okay, Drake being a goat, and our other guest he informed us that we should check out JID. Now, did you get a chance to
Yes.
check out JID?
Yes, I did. Yes,
Okay.
I did. And my initial impressions of JID was that he was an underrated artist. Surprised me. Somebody that I'm unfamiliar with his catalog. But once I did do the research and listen to his music, I said, okay, this, he can rap a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
He can rap a little bit.
yeah, you can. I was checking him out early in the car. I said, let me listen to this guy's music. He had one song that I really liked. It was like Bodies. I think it has like Offset in there. That was like one of my the standout songs he did was Bodies and Work. Um, Cody Blue was a good one.
Yes, it was. Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
I'm just surprised I never heard about him. Had you heard about him before then?
Loosely,
Mhm.
just because, but I just, again, I can't emphasize enough. I wasn't familiar at all with his catalog and songs. Um, Maybe it's because I don't listen to the radio,
Okay, okay.
uh, or he is not a mainstream artist. He typically kind of floats through the underground.
Mhm,
But either way, I'm happy to discover this artist.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, me too.
This
I
was
think
per suggestion of our guest, Matthew from last week.
exactly. That
Yes,
you gave us a good artist to listen to. I think I would check out more of his music. And he really
yes.
is underrated. I can't believe that not many people know about him. From my understanding,
That's,
he's collabed with Eminem, Jill Scott, um, Offset. Yeah, he's collabed with a lot of people.
that's surprising. I had no idea. Like I said, if Matthew didn't put us down, Matt, and tell me, check him out. I wouldn't even know about him to this day, to be honest. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? He
Hmm.
completely flew under my radar. Like I said, I loosely heard his name floating through the ether, or maybe a song or two where where he did a feature maybe. But no, I wasn't. He wasn't, an artist that was on my playlist at all. He
Hmm.
certainly will. He certainly will be.
Hmm. So I'm trying to think. I was reading about him a little earlier. They say he's from Atlanta. Let me see. He's an artist from Atlanta, and I think he's supposed to be signed to what is his name? J. Cole. JID.
J Cole.
Yeah, I think he's signed to J. Cole's label. He's and he's a young guy, but he's older than what I imagined. I thought he would be, even younger, but he's 36. He's 36. October 31st.
36.
Yeah,
So he's an older artist for the rap game.
exactly.
Um, are you familiar with like how long he's been like? Because like I said, I'm completely unfamiliar with him and his catalog. I'm just familiarizing myself now.
Hmm. I'm trying to
But
look up.
I think he's been around at least for like 5 years or so. Just kind of. Is he an independent artist?
That's a good question. I'm trying to look and see his albums. Let's see here.
Because he definitely has bodies of work. He definitely has videos. I was looking at the one with Offset, like you said, bodies.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know why I'm not familiar with him, but when I did familiarize myself with him, I was impressed. I said, okay, this is somebody that, you know, deserves a little bit more attention.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
It's
They were.
not a lot of artists that
Mhm.
stand out.
That's true. I know. I know. They were saying that he had some kind of controversy where, oh, he's actually on tour now. He's going to be
Is
in
it?
New York, July 10th. Then he's going to Hightstown, United Kingdom, June 27th. And July 24th, he'll be in New Orleans. And then July 30th, he'll be in Montreal.
Oh, so he's popular. He's
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah. So I think one of his standout albums was God Does Like Ugly.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. So he had, okay. So 2025, he did God Does Like Ugly. 2022, he did The Forever Story. 2018, he did DiCaprio. 2. 2017, he did The Never Ending Story. 2020, he did Spring Gillian, Spilly Gideon. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right. And then, wow, then he did One Night Only. They don't have the year for that one.
Oh, so so he has albums spanning that for some time.
Yeah, this guy's been
Yeah,
busy.
right,
So as
right.
far as I can see, he looks like the oldest album, based on what I'm looking at here, was 2017. The Never Ending Story.
So,
The Never Story, excuse me.
so per that suggestion, that was a really good one. I want to go back because with certain artists, I
Uh-huh.
like to kind of go back into their first album.
Uh-huh.
And so like especially like when a new artist is like suggested to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm gonna go back and listen to his first album. Typically, that tells a lot about a lot of artists.
Okay.
If you're looking back at like, I wouldn't say this necessarily about Tupac.
About who?
His first about Tupac, his first album.
Tupac. Okay. Yeah.
I can say that about DMX.
I
You know
know.
what I mean?
Oh my God.
You can't
DMX's first album? Yeah.
yeah. And Tupac, it seems like a lot was limited with his first album.
It was definitely
It
a production
progressively
issue.
got better.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. It was one of those things that progressively got better.
Exactly.
Um, and I think it was more complete. Like, my favorite living album of
Mhm.
Tupac would have been Me Against the World.
Really? Against the
Yes,
World. Hmm.
yes,
Okay.
yes, absolutely. And I'm speaking of the albums that he made while he was living. That's my favorite album that he made while he was
Even
alive.
more so than better than All Eyes on Me.
You're talking about double the pleasure, double the fun. That's a
Mhm.
lot to compare it to. Okay, you got two, you got a double disc album, and it's hard to compare that because he was alive, even though that was like his last stint of life, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But I think all eyes on. I think Me Against the World. I think it was a different type of album. If you
Mm-hmm.
really listen, it was really Tupac's breakout.
Mm-hmm.
I still got to push because it was some songs in the theme to the album. Whereas it seems like to me, All Eyes on Me was more of a rebellious, if that makes any sense.
Okay. Okay. I'll agree. He was angry. He had been through a lot.
Yes,
He had been
yes,
falsely accused of RAPE. You know what I mean?
yes,
Of grape.
yes.
We're not going to say the word here, but
Right.
he was falsely accused of that. Which, for the life of me, I swear I don't believe that Tupac ever did anything like that.
And I
Um,
can understand his anger.
yes, he was angry. He'd been set
Yes.
up. With someone trying to rob him. And then they made a song about who shot me. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So
And I think all he did was try to be the best representation of the black community,
yeah,
and enlighten and keep us motivated and let us know, like, let's fight this.
Yes.
I fully, so he's my favorite artist of all time. I'm sure you know,
Yes, I do.
but mainly because what he stood for and what he believed. And I
Yeah,
believe what a
yeah,
lot of what Tupac believed. Honestly,
absolutely. And I want to say also, we were talking about underrated artists. Now, Tupac is not underrated under any circumstance. Is he underrated? I think everyone knows of all cultures, all castes, all religions, all nationalities know how dope and great Tupac is. That's no debate. But
absolutely.
we're gonna talk about underrated artists. I think Lupe Fiasco is an underrated artist. I don't know if you
Mm,
think Lupe like that. I'm not sure. But Lupe
mm.
is definitely one of the goats. And I really feel bad that people don't seem to acknowledge that because the guy is really talented. The funny thing is, me and Lupe got in a beef on X.
Really?
Yes, it was during COVID. And I was just like saying something. I think we were talking about where COVID came from. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he was saying, like, oh, well, COVID didn't come for eating bats because people in Africa eat bats, and people in Africa eat not bats, but people in Africa eat all kinds of crazy animals, and they didn't get COVID. So why did COVID come from? Supposedly, as it was reported, came from Wuhan, China. So I'm like, yo, you attacking African people? I'm like beef with him on X. We're going back and forth, going back and forth. Like, you don't attack people, blah, blah, blah. How can you say they eat these kind of animals, blah, blah, blah? And unfortunately, he deleted the comments. After me and him had our exchange, he deleted the comments, like he deleted his tweets. But I respect him because he's still firm on his belief. I still firm on mine. But in retrospect, maybe he was trying to say something else and I didn't get it at the time. But I think I kind of get what he's trying to say. You know what I mean?
What do you think it was?
I think he was trying to say that COVID was lab created. Because if it was really came from China and the Chinese people eating bats as it is what as it was reported initially, then I think that it would have been found in Africa because Africans, I didn't know this at the time, particularly West Africans, they do eat um, bush meat, you know what I mean, and others that
Bushmeat, yeah.
exotic animals. So,
Right.
um, I'm not knocking anybody for eating exotic meat. I'm just saying. So I think it's what he was saying.
Right.
And in retrospect, it was lab created, you know?
Yes.
And essentially COVID was just a weaponized cold. That's it. It was a weaponized cold. It was. They took a
Yeah.
cold and they made our economy go in shambles. They made people lose their jobs. They made people go into depression. They set children back in school and academics for like a year or so
Mhm. Yes,
for
they
a
did.
cold. For a cold.
A more deadly version of the code to some for some reason.
Listen,
That was the funny and suspicious part of it. But
yeah,
yeah.
because theoretically, if it really were as deadly as we were told, then you would have saw people dead in the street. You would have been walking outside or, at the park or whatever, and you would have seen people collapsing, you know, everywhere.
Falling out there. Right.
But yeah, but Lupe, he's dope. He's a really good lyricist. I seen Lupe perform like twice live. Dope. He got a song called The Mural. Listen to that. He performed that live. And I'm just like, wow. Like Lupe is dope. And this guy here, JID, kind of reminds me of a younger Lupe. He got you see a picture of him?
Yeah, I did.
He looks
Yeah,
a little
younger
bit like
guy.
Lupe.
Yeah.
He got kind of a Lupe look, thing going on.
Yeah, it's something in his music. I can feel or sense like certain inspirations.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He's definitely a collaborative of different influences.
Mhm.
and that's cool. That's
Mhm.
cool, because he still with those collaboration and influences will still make his unique
Mhm.
influence on music, and that's what's really cool
Mhm.
about the whole
Mhm.
situation, you know.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, to expand, JID is somebody that I want to listen to more.
Okay. JID, if you're listening, we bigging up on you, so come on.
Absolutely, absolutely, keep it up.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Good work.
Yeah,
Good work. Um,
good work.
so yeah, so I'm trying to think like I was seeing something the other day. Have you watched the Shannon Shop episode with Young and May?
Oh, I did, I did. It was certain segments that tickled me more than others, but yeah, I managed to catch that.
Now,
Interesting young lady or young man, obviously identified.
she's a queen with a K. It's queen with a K.
Okay,
Cause she it's something in that community where she knows she's a woman. She knows she's biologically female, but she
right,
presents herself as a very masculine woman,
right,
so she calls herself a queen with a K.
okay.
Yeah. So I mean, have you heard her music? You think she's a good rapper? What do you think about her music?
Wow. So, Young and May, yes,
Uh-huh.
I am familiar with her catalog. Um, so she goes along to me, and by
Mhm.
my opinion, along with a lot of artists that identify with the LGBTQ plus community.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and so while I think that like there's she can rap, I definitely do. It's hard to follow her music and her lyrics
Hmm.
because of the material she chooses to rap about.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
It makes me a bit uncomfortable. So I can follow her and I'm listening and I'm vibing, and then it's just like it gets weird at a point. It's like,
Uh-huh.
okay, well, this is it just gets uncomfortable. It's like because I don't identify as the same.
Exactly.
So you know
Exactly.
that's the only difference. But as far
Mhm.
as talent, I definitely think it's there.
Yeah. Yeah. She makes a couple of songs I like. And like you said, it's kind of weird for me as a woman because she's talking about, intimate issues. And it's like, but you know what I mean? We really just stick to, other mundane issues. I don't want to really
Right,
hear that because you have to understand that everybody is part of that community. I have no beef with, anybody because of sexuality. It's their business. And some of my best friends have been gay men. Growing up, my best friends have been gay men. They looked out for me. Sweethearts, lovely people. Um, Hearts of gold. You know what I mean? So it's not that I'm against that community at all. I'm not. But
right,
you have to keep things neutral because the greater masses of people aren't in that community. It's only a very small percentage of people that are in that community. So, like people say that it was like Queen Latifah, she's supposed to be gay. It's reported people are saying she's gay. People said Luther Vandross was gay. You know what I mean? But Luther Vandross, I can listen to any of his music, any of his love
right,
songs. I love his music. He's an icon. He's a legend. I love his music. All time classic, great artist. Queen Latifah, all time classic, great artist. Because when they made their music, they made it neutral.
right.
You know what I mean? So that's why
I
I think
agree.
MA kind of messes up. I think it's a mess up, but that's why I think her reach is not as big as it could be. Because yeah, she's a talented artist. You know what I mean? She's definitely talented. But if
Absolutely.
you are heterosexual man or woman, it feels a little awkward. You know what I mean? Listening to
Right,
her speak on, intimate matters. You know what I mean?
right, right. There's certain artists that make music that they creatively keep their sexual preference
Mm-hmm.
out of. Like
Mm-hmm.
they don't put that as an influence to their music.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that it's geared one way or the other,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just good music.
Exactly.
They leave such their sexuality neutral
Exactly.
and just make songs.
Exactly.
Because the artist's personal life is their personal life, and I agree
Mm-hmm.
with that.
Mm-hmm.
If I was a celebrity, I wouldn't want my personal life publicized.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because for a lot of obvious reasons. There's
Mm-hmm.
weird people in the world, unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
um, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you know, um, yeah, I just think that your sexuality should be left out of the music that you choose to make. And if you're an artist,
Mm-hmm.
you know how to paint a picture without painting a whole bunch of
Exactly.
what you prefer, whatever it is that you prefer, and just
Mm-hmm.
make good art. So
Mm-hmm.
just keep it, really good art.
Yeah. Because, like you said, you have to make it so your audience can relate. You know what I mean?
Right,
Just like if
right,
the artist, I like R&B. I love British R&B. You know what I mean? Some of my favorite singers are actually British. I love Daly. I've seen him perform like 2 or 3 times. He's a very talented artist. He's this little white guy, but he has so much soul. You know what I mean? He's like a really soulful and white guy. He's really kind, really humble. I love his energy. Met him a couple times. Sweet guy, mad talented. He should be well known as well. You know what I mean? Check out some of his music. Um, and also like Sam Smith. He made some pretty decent songs. You know what I mean? But with Sam Smith, he started making love songs and he started saying he. You know what I mean? He started putting gender on the love interest in the song. And that's as a woman, it's really difficult to listen to because I'm like, okay, this is the man singing and he's singing about another man. And it's kind of, it's hard to relate. I'll say that.
right.
I'll say,
Absolutely.
yeah. But yeah, I think artists should keep it neutral. You know what I mean? With that sexuality.
Right, because if they emphasize that,
Uh-huh.
it seems like they're trying to promote an agenda.
Exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason why I feel like they should leave it out of the music. If you're an artist, you're an artist. You
Mm-hmm.
can paint a picture without painting a bunch of vaginas and penises.
Exactly.
If you really want to get to the nuts and bolts, you understand what I'm saying? So just leave that out of it and just create beautiful art. That's how I
Exactly.
feel.
I completely
Yeah.
agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
That's something to think about. You're so right. I'm trying to think like something that stood out to me that I found with the MA interview was kind of funny. And I wanted to get your opinion on this. She said that, or I think Shannon Sharp was saying that a lot of men nowadays are digging on or crushing on or dating studs. If you don't want to know what a stud is, that's a very, very masculine lesbian. Okay?
Right.
You're a man. So I think you can answer this question better than I can give my opinion on it. You can give your opinion and
Oh,
I'll trust yours a little bit more. You're a man, so you tell me. How do
wow.
you feel about
So,
that?
I'm on the spotlight tonight. So let me just say, first of all, my observations from watching that, especially that segment
Uh-huh.
of the interview
Uh-huh.
of Shannon Sharp, uh, she made Shannon very uncomfortable pushing back on a
Okay.
lot of things that he was saying.
Okay.
And I thought that was one thing that stood out to me. I thought that was really funny. He was really uncomfortable when she,
Uh-huh.
started pushing back on some of the assertions he was making.
Uh-huh.
Um, as far as the straight black American man, um, I'm typically not attracted to a masculine female.
You said or not?
I'm not attracted to a
You're
masculine
not.
female.
But what do you think it is? Because if you know how many times I've seen pregnant studs, okay? Okay, pregnant studs. And listen, we know about artificial insemination and IVF, and we know about this, but these women are not like those things are very expensive. They're not like in a position where they can afford
Right,
to go to IVF clinic and get these things done. So it's kind of like,
right.
did you have the shower the old fashioned way?
Wait, right. So that is a weird scenario because you would think that in this situation like that, it would actually be the femme who would be pregnant and not the stud.
No,
However,
studs.
one of them has to be, however you put
Uh huh.
it. So I think that's an interesting predicament. All of it is unique. All of it is different. Um, but as far but as far as finding like interest in them, I mean, there are women that prefer, I guess, to be the masculine force in a relationship with another woman.
Okay.
That may not go as far
Okay.
as others will to be masculine.
Okay.
So you may be able to look at them and say, I see the potential.
Okay.
There's others who go all out, and there is no potential, in my opinion, to be seen.
Okay.
They are like my homies. They my friends. They're like, yo, we'll chill and talk about what's going on in the football.
So, so what if you like one night, had a little bit too much Henny and your homie is there? You like, but it's not a man, but you know, it's very masculine, but it's not a
But
man. You don't think that could happen? You don't think any man could fall in love with a stud? You know what I mean? You don't think that's possible?
I think it's possible
Hmm.
if both of their sexual fetishes are weird.
Ah, I
you
see. I see.
know, you understand?
Hmm.
So, I think a lot of this has to do with a lot of people's sexual fetishes more so than a lot of other things that they, put the blame on.
I see.
I think it's about sexual fetishes, and and as far as sexual fetishes, it's fine.
Mhm.
It's human nature. One thing may not, fasten with the other person. That's
Mhm.
fine. Just keep it where it belongs. That's
Mhm.
my opinion. Just keep it where it belongs. Come out and make a choice.
Mhm.
Don't be confusing, but make a choice as to how you identify in public. Yeah.
I see. So
Don't get offended if I say one thing or another, and there's just no right answer.
I got you. So you telling me the inmate couldn't ever get it?
I would tell you this, right? So
Mhm.
after watching that Shannon Sharp interview and the state that she was in that interview, no, not for me, not for me, not for me. You understand what I'm saying? Not for me, not in the way that she was. I know that there was an AI generated picture of her posted in a dress.
Yes, I thought that was real. I was like, yo, MA starting to be not MA MA young MA is starting to be
Yes,
pregnant now. Oh wow, she's actually cute as a feminine girl. You know,
right. She really was.
she's
I mean, even
cute.
before that, I did see pictures before, she, made a choice.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
And, you know, as a young lady, she always had really nice features and been a really
Mhm.
attractive woman.
Mhm.
But in her state, the way that she is, especially in that Shannon Sharp interview, she would be somebody like I would kick it with. Like I would,